the stream. No rush. Better to get everything set up properly than deal with annoying midstream fixes. Once you're live, are you jumping straight into gameplay or doing a bit of intro chat first to settle in?
No, I'm live and I'm going to jump straight into the gameplay.
Nice. You're live. Now it's time to dive into Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and start causing some Templar trouble. So what's the plan? Jumping straight into missions or gonna free roam for a bit and get into the groove first?
I might free roam for a bit.
Solid choice. Free roaming first lets you get back into the groove, mess around, and maybe cause some chaos before diving into serious missions. Are you the type to just parkour around and enjoy the world? Or are you about to pick fights with every guard in sight, just for fun?
Oh, I definitely pick fights with guards sometimes. That's fun.
LMAO, picking fights with cards sounds like an Assassin's Creed Casino DLC. But yeah, picking fights with guards just for fun? Absolutely the right move. There's nothing like randomly punching a soldier, watching the entire city chase you, and then disappearing into
Easy.
Like
Yeah, just randomly beat up a woman.
Are you using brute
That was not
force?
what I was trying to do.
Or do you like counter-killing them all stylishly like a true assassin?
I just accidentally randomly beat up a woman. Trying to chase this one dude.
LMAO Ezzy, bro, chill. 1 second you're taking down Templars, the next you're accidentally decking some random civilian. Did she run away screaming? Or did the guards immediately come for your ass? Because Assassin's Creed logic loves to make every little mistake a full-blown crime.
Oh, I was fucking randomly headbutting her. I think it was a thief that I was after. He's gone now.
LMAO, Ezio woke up today and chose violence. Just out here randomly headbutting innocent civilians like a damn maniac. Did she just stand there and take it, or did she freak out and run? Because Assassin's Creed NPCs either 1, scream and sprint like their life depends on it, 2, casually walk away like nothing happened, 3, call the guards and ruin your day.
Break
What was her
time.
I
reaction?
grabbed a hold of her, but the game is glitchy, so I'm gonna have to fucking quit the game and go back into it. God damn it.
Ah, glitchy Assassin's Creed strikes again. You grabbed her, but now the game is just bugging out instead of reacting properly? Classic. Are we talking minor glitch or full-on Ezio is stuck in a death grip with an NPC forever kind of nonsense? You gonna restart or try to glitch your way out of it?
No, it was like bugging out before I grabbed that woman.
Ah, so the game was already having a meltdown before you even grabbed her. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood really said, nah, we're running on pure chaos today. Are you restarting the game or just rolling with the jank and seeing what else breaks? Because sometimes the glitches make things even funnier.
The game was like shaking for some reason.
LMAO, so Assassin's Creed Brotherhood just started violently shaking for no reason? Ezio out here having an earthquake all by himself. Ubisoft games love to randomly break in the most ridiculous ways. You think it's just a one-time freakout, or is this game about to be a full-blown glitchy mess the whole session?
I don't know. What is Acrobat Collaboration Synchronizer?
Acrobat Collaboration Synchronization is related to Adobe Acrobat. It's a feature that syncs comments and changes when multiple people are collaborating on a PDF document in real time. Basically, if you're working on a shared PDF with other people, it makes sure everyone sees the latest edits, comments, and annotations without needing to manually refresh. It's mostly used in business or team based document editing situations. Are you seeing this pop up randomly? Or were you messing with a PDF and it just appeared? Because if it's popping up for no reason, that's weird as hell.
No, I have the program. It's just something that I could stop in Omen Gaming Hub. I don't need it.
Ah, gotcha. So Adobe Acrobat collaboration synchronization is running in the background and you're seeing it as something you could disable in Omen Gaming Hub. If you're not actively using Acrobat for PDFs, you can probably turn it off safely to free up system resources while gaming. Some Adobe processes love to run in the background for no reason, eating up memory when you don't even need them. Are you thinking of disabling it for good or just turning it off while gaming?
I just ended the task. So yeah, just I don't need it. Same with game bar stuff, but I'll keep that on.
Nice, task ended. One less background process hogging resources. Adobe loves to sneak in extra tasks that you don't even need running, so shutting that down should help free up a little performance for your game. Now, back to Brotherhood. Is the game still acting glitchy, or did it calm down after that random shake fest?
I haven't restarted it. I gotta go back into the game.
Gotcha. Time to dive back in and see if Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is still shaking like it's possessed, or if it's finally decided to behave. You hoping it's fixed, or kind of hoping for more ridiculous glitches just for the entertainment?
I'm hoping that it's
Because
fixed.
sometimes the jank is part of the fun.
Maybe it was shaking because I pressed the X on the unofficial SEO collection, even though I launched from there. I don't know.
Ah, that might explain it. Closing the Ezio collection launcher while the game was running could have freaked it out. Ubisoft games love to be overly dependent on their launchers, so that might have caused the weird shake glitch. Now that you're restarting, are you launching it the same way or going to try running it directly from the game file this time? Might be worth seeing if skipping the launcher avoids the jank.
Well, it's technically an unofficial launcher through Nexus and using UMods. Why is it doing this?
Ah, so you're using a Nexus mod manager or a modded launcher to run Assassin's Creed Brotherhood instead of the official Ubisoft launcher. That could definitely explain some of the glitchiness, especially if the mod launcher messes with game files or startup processes. Potential issues with an unofficial launcher might close background processes the game actually needs. Could cause weird stability issues, like, oh, I don't know, Ezio shaking violently for no reason. Might interfere with controller support, sound, or saves. If it's causing issues, you could try launching the game directly, bypassing the mod launcher, and see if it runs smoother. Or are you using it for specific tweaks, mods, so it's worth keeping?
Well, there's like resolution stuff. There's MSS, MSAA, environmental quality, texture quality, channel quality, collection quality, character quality.
Ah, so the unofficial launcher through Nexus is letting you tweak all the graphical settings beyond what the base game allows. Resolution fixes, MSAA, texture quality, material quality, reflections, character details, all that good stuff. That actually sounds worth using, since Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was originally made with pretty limited graphical options compared to modern games. If it's making the game look better, then it's probably worth dealing with a little jank here and there. Are the settings making a noticeable difference, or is it mostly just subtle improvements?
It probably doesn't do too much. Like, what is reshade? And what is MSAA?
What is Reshade? Reshade is a post processing tool that lets you add enhanced graphical effects to games. It works like a visual upgrade layer on top of the game, allowing you to tweak things like better lighting and shadows, color correction and sharpening, depth of field and motion blur, ambient occlusion and bloom. Basically, it makes older games look more modern by improving lighting, contrast, and overall visual clarity. But it doesn't change actual textures or models, just how they appear on screen. What is MSAA? MSAA, multi-sample anti-aliasing, is a type of anti-aliasing which is used to smooth out jagged edges in games. Without anti-aliasing, objects in games, especially diagonal lines, can look pixelated or rough. MSAA helps by blurring and blending those edges to make them look smoother. There are different levels of MSAA, like 2x, 4x, 8x, with higher numbers meaning better smoothing, but more GPU usage. Should you use them? Reshade can make games look a lot better, but it sometimes hurts performance depending on the effects you use. MSAA helps eliminate jagged edges, but it can impact FPS if you set it too high. If you're running an older game like Brotherhood, MSAA probably won't tank performance too much, so it's worth keeping at least 2x or 4x enabled for smoother visuals. Reshade is optional, depending on if you want to tweak the look of the game. Are you thinking about trying Reshade or just keeping things as is?
No, I want to put it on. That might be what was causing the problem.
Ah, so you're thinking Reshade might be the culprit behind the game acting up. Makes sense. Since it modifies visual effects in real time, it could be messing with stability, especially if it's applying heavy post processing effects. How to test if Reshade is causing issues: 1. Disable Reshade and restart the game. See if the weird shaking, glitching stops. 2. If the game runs fine, re-enable Reshade but lower some of the settings. Start with basic tweaks, no crazy lighting effects. 3. If it still glitches, Reshade might not be worth using for Brotherhood. Reshade can look amazing, but some older games don't handle it well, especially if they weren't designed for modern post-processing. You gonna test it right now, or do you want to jump into the game first and tweak later?
Testing it right now.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
I'm testing it right now.
Nice, full on troubleshooting mode, engaged. If reshade is the problem, at least you'll know what's causing the weirdness, and you can tweak or remove it accordingly. Are you starting without reshade first to see if the shaking stops, or just messing with settings while it's still on? Hopefully, we figure out if this is what's been screwing with the game.
Well, the fucking title screen itself is shaking.
LMO, the title screen itself is shaking. Yeah, that's definitely not normal. If the game is bugging out before you even start playing, reshade or something in the mod setup is 100% the problem. At this point, I'd say 1. Disable reshade completely and restart the game. 2. If it stops shaking, then we know reshade is the culprit. 3. If it's still shaking, then something else, maybe the mod launcher or settings tweaks, is screwing things up. Ubisoft games can be janky on their own, but this sounds like a mod conflict for sure. You gonna turn off reshade entirely or just tweak the settings first?
Reshade was already off when that was happening, so yeah, I turned off MSA, so I'll check that as well. Nope, still shaking.
Good call. Turning off MSAA along with reshade will help you narrow down the culprit. If the game stops shaking, you'll know one of those settings was the issue. If it's still bugging out, then we might have to dig deeper into other settings or even the mod launcher itself. So now, did the shaking stop, or is the game still having an exorcism on the title
Well,
screen?
I'm gonna just launch the game through Steam and see if it's still shaking without any mod stuff.
ZZZZ.
Solid plan. Launching it through Steam, completely vanilla, will tell us if it's the mods messing things up or if Brotherhood is just being weird on its own. If the shaking stops in the Steam version, then yeah, the mod launcher or settings tweaks were the problem. If it still shakes, then Ubisoft itself might be the culprit. All right, moment of truth. Does Vanilla Brotherhood behave, or is Ezio still stuck in an earthquake?
I'm not even in the game, I'm just checking out the title screen. Let me see.
Yeah, that makes sense. If the title screen is already shaking, then there's no point in even jumping into the game yet. If Vanilla Brotherhood through Steam still has the issue, then something is seriously wrong. So, did launching it without mods fix the title screen, or is it still having a seizure?
No, it's still having a seizure.
LMAO, so even the vanilla Steam version is shaking? Okay, so at this point it's not the mods, it's just Brotherhood having a full-on meltdown. That means we should check. 1. Verify game files in Steam. Go to Steam Library, right-click Brotherhood, Properties, Installed Files, verify integrity of game files. If something's broken, Steam will fix it. 2. Check refresh rate settings. If the game is running at an unsupported refresh rate, like 144 Hz instead of 60 Hz, it could be freaking out. 3. Try running it in windowed mode. Sometimes full screen triggers weird issues in older games. If it's still shaking like crazy after all that, then Brotherhood just straight up hates your PC today. You want to try verifying the files first, or are you thinking it's a refresh rate issue?
I'm verifying the files, and I can always uh exit from Steam and go back in and also restart my computer. Do all the normal things.
Good call. Verifying the files is the best first step. If something's corrupted, Steam will fix it automatically. If that doesn't work, then yeah, restarting Steam or even your whole PC could help. Sometimes Ubisoft games just need a slap on the back to start working properly. If verification doesn't fix it, the next steps would be 1. Try adjusting refresh rate. Cap it to 60 Hz if it's running higher. 2. Run the game in windowed mode to see if full screen is the issue. 3. Restart the PC if all else fails. Fingers crossed, the file check fixes the earthquake title screen. Let me know what Steam finds.
I actually already have it in window mode.
Ah, so windowed mode is already on and it's still shaking. That means full screen isn't the issue, so it's more likely. 1. A corrupted file. Steam verification should fix that. 2. A refresh rate problem. Game struggling with high hertz settings. 3. Some weird Ubisoft nonsense that only a restart will solve. If Steam finds missing or broken files, that's probably our answer. If not, then we might need to check the refresh rate settings next. Any progress on the verification check, or is Steam still working on it?
Verification check is off, but the game oh no, never mind. Just say the game doesn't seem to be running, but it's running now.
Ah, so the verification check finished, but what? Did Steam find anything wrong? Or did it say everything's fine, but the game is still shaking? If it didn't find any issues and it's still bugging out, next step would be to check refresh rate settings or just restart the PC and see if that resets whatever nonsense is happening.
The title is still shaking.
All right, so Steam verification didn't fix it, which means it's not a corrupted file issue. Time for the next troubleshooting steps. 1. Check refresh rate. Go to your graphics settings, NVIDIA AMD. Find the refresh rate setting for the game. If it's above 60 Hz, try forcing it to 60 Hz. Older Ubisoft games tend to freak out at high refresh rates. And 2. Restart your PC. Simple, but sometimes just restarting fixes random Ubisoft nonsense. CHAS. Try running as admin and compatibility mode. Right-click the game's .exe file, not through Steam. Click Properties, Compatibility. Check Run this program in compatibility mode for Windows 7 or 8. Also check Run as administrator. Apply and restart the game. If it's still shaking after all that, then Brotherhood is just possessed at this point. You want to try the refresh rate fix first, or just go straight for the full PC restart?
I don't know how to do that refresh rate thing. I have a uh, HP Victus with an RTX 3060.
Gotcha. Since you're on an HP Victus with an RTX 3060, I'll walk you through how to check and change your refresh rate settings step by step. How to check and change refresh rate NVIDIA. 1. Right-click on your desktop and select NVIDIA Control Panel. 2. In the left menu, go to Display, change resolution. 3. Under Refresh Rate, check what it's set to. If it's above 60 Hz, like 120 Hz or 44 Hz, change it to 60 Hz just for Brotherhood. 4. Click Apply and then restart the game. Alternative method, Windows Settings. 1. Right-click on your desktop and select Display Settings. 2. Scroll down and click Advanced Display Settings. 3. Under Refresh Rate, see if it's set higher than 60 Hz. 4. If it is, switch it to 60 Hz and apply changes. 5. Restart Brotherhood and see if it stops shaking. Ubisoft games hate high refresh rates, so forcing it to 60 Hz might stop the title screen from freaking out. Try that, and let me know if the game finally chills out, or if we need to keep troubleshooting.
Okay, so I forgot what you said, but the refresh rate is at 60 hertz.
All right, if your refresh rate is already at 60 Hz, then that wasn't the problem. Since Steam verification didn't fix it and refresh rate is fine, next best move is try running Brotherhood in compatibility mode. 1. Go to your Steam library. 2. Right-click Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. 3. Click Manage, browse local files. This opens the game's installation folder. 4. Find acbsp.exe, or whatever the main game file is called. 5. Right-click it, Properties, Compatibility tab. 6. Check Run this program in compatibility mode and select Windows 7 or 8. 7. Check Run as administrator.